should have blue eyes instead. Can you do that? Can you edit blue eyes for me?
Yes, I'll put that in. Oh my God! And what's the freaking name of our channel? What?
Dude, really?
Dude, really? Thank you. Oh my God.
Dude, really?
Yeah, dude, really?
Dude, really?
All right. Ready? That's how we should start it out, like we always did. All right. Ready?
Yes.
Dude. Oh, no, I thought I was supposed to. I was supposed to say dude. One of us says dude, the other one says really.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
Dude.
Okay, for real. That was a joke.
Dude.
Really?
Dude, really?
Dude, really?
Yeah. Dude, really shit going on. Dax.
Damien.
All right. Today, obviously, we're going to be talking about, because you've seen the title, we're going to be talking about the massacre at the elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, which happened last week. It's an unfortunate and tragic thing. But first, as we always say, we don't talk about these subjects before the video actually starts so that it can stay fresh for you guys. And two, we always talk about individual rights because we got to get America back to people, not actually back. America's never had total individual rights. So we need to understand what rights are. So we're going to connect this whole Uvalde tragedy to individual rights and how we got to take our rights back and kick the motherfucking politicians back to the pavement or put them in prison. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
Bro. All right. So that said, there's just a lot of stuff to say on this. I mean, it should have never happened. The main reason it shouldn't have ever happened is because there should be no public schools. Right?
Right.
I mean, the government presumes upon itself that it is supposed to be in charge of the information that goes into the brains of children. And this has been going on for more than 100 years in America, around the world. There should be no such thing as public schools. If there were no public schools, this shit would not have happened.
We value education. Education is important.
We do.
And we live in a day and age where you have access to just about any single bit of information that you could possibly imagine straight from one click away. And I don't want to hear anything about some people can't get it, some people aren't able to get it.
Everybody can get it.
Everybody can get it. It literally is at the fingertips of anybody.
Yeah.
And so realistically speaking, when you talk about the system that is the public school system, it's absolutely, all it is really is just an indoctrination camp to ensure the obedience.
Yeah. They're teaching socialism and political correctness and that men can be women and women can be men. No, as our show about a year ago said, no, that's not possible. You're born with certain genitalia. But that's another subject altogether. But the thing is with this, the main primary thing that we're going to connect to individual rights in a little bit is that we have a right to determine our own education. We have a right not to have to pay the government to indoctrinate children. That's the big issue here.
Because honestly, that's what it is.
Yeah,
you can't go any further than that. And so the discussion is not simply about the atmosphere of where they have to go, but ultimately the fact that they even have to go.
Yeah,
that they're forced on a daily basis under threat of physical violence to be put into these locations.
Yeah, threat from physical violence from their parents and from administrators and from politicians.
And then from the police force that would come in and enforce that physical violence. And if you guys don't think so, try to go against it.
Yeah.
Then they will come with guns to tell you to do what they want you.
Yeah. And that's not to say there's not going to be private schools. Obviously there will be private schools, but the private schools will be in charge of their own security. And they're going to be getting paid by the parents, and the parents are going to be like, you better motherfucking have security guards and lock that place down. Public schools aren't that way. They don't care. They can have this kind of shooting and they're like, oh, we'll try to do better next time. Yep. They don't care about your children.
We'll make sure to put door stoppers in the classroom to stop people from being able to get in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just all bullshit, people. This is where it starts. Like everybody's talking about guns right now. We have a right to guns. That's the proper. We're not pussies like the Australians and the Brits. So, hats off to you, Australians and Brits. But we're not pussies in America. So no, don't talk about guns. That's a what? Red herring.
Red herring.
Yeah, it's a red herring.
That's treating the symptoms. That's just the same as if you're sick and you have a cough. Instead of taking the vitamins necessary for your immune system to build up and get the virus out of your body, instead you just take some throat lozenges to alleviate the cough.
I have no idea what that. What's the analogy on that? I don't.
Treating the symptom instead of the problem.
Oh, oops.
You guys got it right here from Dr. Damon. I'll be your
Dr. Damon. Oh my God, I'm not calling you Dr. Damon, bro.
That's all right. They will.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna fucking happen. Let me tell you. Anyway, so that's the main problem. We have a right to keep our own money, not to have to pay for indoctrination camps. So then the government fucks everything up. We already know that. The post office, the environment, another show, another time.
Don't worry, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, safety, welfare, which should not be occurring, should not happen, should not exist.
Where is the successful government programs, just out of curiosity?
There are none.
Where are the government programs that have been instituted and sustained wholly on the projected idea that they were founded?
Yeah.
Show me one.
Yeah. We got vermin politicians in charge of our children. Imagine this. Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, Joey B in the Oval Office, and then all of the yahoos in your local districts. These people are in charge of your children, people. Take your children out of public school. Take them out of prison. It's a prison.
Yeah.
Take them out. That's where this shit starts. And what it does, it ends up creating a soft spot. Because governments can't protect your children. They don't do it properly. They don't care.
They don't care to.
All they care about is filling them with bullshit information, political correctness information. So now we have a soft spot that some lunatic like this 18-year-old, now he knows where the soft spot is.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even bother to go to the high school that he dropped out of. No, because that's not quite a soft enough spot for this coward.
There might be somebody there who could defend themselves. There might be somebody there who could fight back.
He goes to an elementary school.
Where there are tiny children.
And where this all started is politicians create the soft spot. They steal from us. They create these schools. They create the soft spot. They don't care. They don't care. So let's talk real quickly about the police response on this. Because there's so much wrong with the police that we've talked about before. Yes, we need the police to protect our rights. That's all we need them for. But these yahoos in San Antonio, they hear the gunfire. They hear gunfire inside the school. They start approaching the school. The gunman shoots at them. This is the latest news. The gunman shoots at them. What do? They turn tail, run back to their cars.
I'm just hearing this for the first time, guys, with you.
Yeah.
So this.
Tyler is advising he is in a room full of victims at this moment.
An ABC News analysis of the video shows that was at approximately 12:13.
8 to 9 children.
Again at 12:16, she's called back and said there was 8 to 9 students alive.
But 19 students and 2 teachers lost their lives. Texas authorities say the school district police chief wrongly believed the situation was no longer an active shooter and had ordered tactical teams not to enter the classroom while the children desperately called 911 for help.
That's what they do. These police officers, they need to be put in prison for what they did. Their job is to protect those kids. They need to lose their badges. They need to be brought up on trial, and they need to go to prison for 5 years because it is their job to protect us. When they turned tail and all you could see was their asses running back to the police cars, fuck them. Fuck them. Motherfuckers. And then the police wait a whole hour after that. This whole situation progressed from bad to bloody tragedy because of the police. It started with the politicians. They're the ones who create public schools.
And then you have the people who are supposed to be enforcing safety, and you have them backing off of an active shooting situation.
An active shooting.
While children are still inside.
Yeah. These are the most vulnerable. We all know. Children are the most vulnerable people in society. It's not women. It's not small men. It's not. No, but children are the most. They're defenseless. So these police officers who took off instead of going and putting here. I want to read you what a Houston police officer said about what they do in Houston in this kind of situation. This is what he said. And he got really upset about how this was handled. He said, if you're the first cop, the only cop, you still need to act aggressively to end the threat. That's what he said. You must go towards the gunfire. That's what this officer said. What's his name? Art Acevedo. Hats off, Art Acevedo. That's what we're talking about. So you got politicians creating indoctrination camps that are soft spots for cowardly, massacring, murdering criminals. That's number one. Number two, we've got cowardly cops, according to Acevedo, cowardly cops who allow 19 children?
19 children, two adults.
21 human beings to die. That's how all this shit happens. So we've got to get rid of the public schools, folks. Not guns. We need guns to protect ourselves.
Because monsters exist. These people, that man, or that thing, or whatever you want to call it, I call it a thing outside of the world, is a monster. And there are plenty more like it.
Yeah, you can't get rid of the monsters. So we've got to have guns to protect ourselves. And as we know, what's the number? 99.1% of people handle guns the way they're supposed to be handled. They don't go out and kill other people. I've got 2 guns. You got 1 or 2.
Yeah, I have a couple more.
Yeah, he's got a couple of guns. Damon's got a couple of guns. No, it's not us. We're not the problem. Guns are not the problem. Isn't it interesting? I find it ironic. It's the politicians, and mostly the liberals, but also conservatives, who create these public schools, these soft spots, these indoctrination camps. And then the liberals, the lefties, the little furry basement dwellers, they're the ones who tell us, who use this situation that they created
in order to try and force us to lose our rights.
What he just said.
In order to force people to get so emotional, because that's what they're banking on. They're banking on the emotionality of this situation because it's a travesty. It's a horrible thing that happened because a monster decided to go to an indoctrination camp that they created. This is the best case scenario for them.
Yeah, that's a good point. He went to one of these indoctrination camps, and this is what they created. This is what they create.
This is literally what they created. And then they say, oh my gosh, it's such a surprise. It's a surprise that he turned out this way.
Yep. So it's not about guns. This isn't about guns. It's primarily about the so-called public schools, the indoctrination camps, the prisons. They're little kiddie prisons is what they are. They're kiddie prisons.
They'll tell you it's about guns.
Yeah.
They can't wait to tell you how bad guns are, how bad gun owners are,
Yeah.
how we're monsters, all of us.
But if you're a parent out there, especially, if you're sending your kid to public school, shame on you. Seriously, shame on you for sending your child to a public political indoctrination camp. Because what are you doing when you're at work or you're at home while your children are over there? Do you know what kind of poison they're putting into your kid's head? And you think you can correct that when they get home? Really? No. It's day after day, folks. Monday through Friday. You're not correcting shit. They're getting that. I've got an 18-and-a-half-year-old daughter. I see her friends who went to public school. I see the shit that comes out of their brains from what they've been fed. All right. So, I mean, the connection to individual rights, which is what this channel is all about, is that, again, individual rights means that you have a right, excuse me, to your body, your mind, your money, and your property. 100%. Complete hegemony. You got ownership over that. And then the actions you take with those things. Not with other people's bodies, minds, and property. That's where it ends. But you got a 100% right to that.
Free of coercion or force.
Free of coercion or force. The government, properly speaking, we've never had this in the history of the world. The government, properly speaking, cannot tell you what to do with any of those things. Whether it's drugs or alcohol or education.
Prostitution, whatever the case may be.
Prostitution, whatever it is. It's not a prerogative. Governments don't have rights. Only people do. It's not a prerogative of government to tell us what to do, and certainly not to set up public schools. So public schools is a violation of our rights, of our individual rights, to our money to pay for them, and to us and our kids' bodies actually being present at those schools. So it's a violation of individual rights, public schools.
Easily.
Amen, Damon?
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, Dax.
All right. Anything else?
You pretty much nailed every single thing that I wanted to say. I'm usually a lot more animated.
Yeah.
But
I went on a rant.
It's fine, absolutely, because it's truly this is an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
How do you not react with anger, with disgust, with and just those two emotions? What screams most to me is anger and disgust. Anger and the fact that they will sit there and try to spin the narrative in any way that they see fit. Hillary Clinton herself said, "Never let a good tragedy go to waste."
Seriously.
And that is absolutely horrible.
That's the paradigm of government.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Take your goddamn children out of the indoctrination poison camps, folks. That's how we stop this shit happening. This kind of situation, this is how we stop it from happening.
Yes.
It's up to you. Our individual rights are up to you, up to us, and it's up to you.
And we'll never stop talking about it.
No.
Obviously.
No, dude.
Really?
All right, check y'all
I got the
later.
cue.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna wink now.
Is it a good wink? No, I know.
Let us know in the comments.